republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Open Public Meetings Act statement.
Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting was forwarded to the official township newspapers, posted on the bulletin board and township website. This meeting is being videotaped and will be on Channel 9.
Roll call.
Mr. Doyle?
Here.
Mr. Farabella?
Here.
Mr. Keane?
Here.
Mr. Marsh?
Here.
Mayor Bruno?
Here. Hearing a motion to approve the following resolution. Resolution 4026, appointing SLEO 2 Konnor Reilly to the position of Police Officer First Class in the Franklin Township Police Department.
Motion R 4026.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Farabella?
Yes.
Mr. Keane?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Chief?
Thank you, Mayor. I have a short report for the council. Before we bring Konnor up, I just want to take a moment to thank everybody for coming out tonight and kind of brag about the men and women standing over here to our left, to our right, and what we accomplished in 2025. For those of you that haven't seen it, our 2025 year-end report is up online, and it really highlights the spectacular accomplishments of these officers in the room. In 2025, we restructured our department with a focus on two key elements: high visibility traffic enforcement, which led to the creation of traffic safety units. And it wasn't just about enforcement. We made meaningful change at different intersections and areas of our town to make it safer for people to travel. Second is school security, enhanced school security. We put a large emphasis on this, and we now have officers at our schools every day, especially in the high school, monitoring traffic. And we have been able to make some long overdue changes when it comes to parking issues that cause hazardous conditions. This allowed our detectives to go back to focusing on investigations and provide the schools and our wonderful extra roads with support not only in their buildings but outside of it as well. So what have we done? In 2025, we answered almost 52,000 calls for service, 3,300 EMS calls, over 1,200 burglar alarms, 825 motor vehicle crashes, and nearly 400 domestic violence calls in 2025. In addition, our officers conducted over 18,000 motor vehicle stops, number one in Gloucester County. Issued 17,000 motor vehicle tickets, also number one in Gloucester County. Made 875 arrests, number one in Gloucester County, and 90 of them were for DWI. Two main goals that we are focusing on in 2026. One is we want to have over 100 DWI arrests. And what does this all mean? In 2025, we reduced our fatal motor vehicle crashes from 7 in 2024 to 2 in 2025. That is a reduction of 72%. We reduced overall motor vehicle crashes by 14%. And this year, we have set a goal out to reduce the number of fatalities in our town to 0. So tonight, we add another important player to our team. Although he's been working for us since he graduated the academy in December, and he's doing a great job, we are very happy to be able to swear him in full-time tonight. Before I bring him up, this concludes my report, and I just wanted to thank Mayor Bruno, Deputy Mayor Marsh, and the entire Township Committee for their continued support of this department, which has really, in my opinion, become the best around. And once again, we couldn't do it without your support. So now I'd like to bring up Konnor and his family to be sworn in. I'll read a short bio on Konnor. Officer Konnor Reilly was born and raised in Franklin Township, where he attended Franklin Township schools. He graduated from Delsey High School in 2023. While at Delsey, Officer Reilly was a 4-year varsity athlete playing both soccer and baseball. During his senior season, he was named second team All-Southridge defender by the Southridge Soccer Coaches Association. He was also a key contributor to the 2023 Delsey High School baseball team that advanced to the finals of the Joe Hartman Diamond Classic and the Southridge Youth League Finals. Following high school, Officer Reilly attended Reilly College of South Jersey, where he majored in criminal justice. From an early age, he aspired to become a police officer with the goal of serving the Franklin Township community that he called home. That dream was inspired in part by his father, Jim Reilly, who began his law enforcement career with the Franklin Township Police Department and made the rank as sergeant. Officer Reilly is grateful for the opportunity to serve with the Franklin Township Police Department. He currently resides in Franklin Township and also gives back to the community as the current freshman baseball coach at Delsey High School.
Not me.
Do solemnly swear. That I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of the officer for the Township of Franklin Police Department to the best of my ability. I do solemnly swear. I will support the Constitution. Of the United States. And the Constitution of the State of New Jersey. And that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. And to the government established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people. So help me God. Now, we're going to take a 5 or 10 minute break to clear out. So if you want to get pictures or whatever, feel free.
Thank you guys for coming out, everybody. Appreciate it.
What you guys? Oh, go.
Well, but then we saw that there was another camera over here.
So you went around the corner? He's like, oh,
Yeah, go hold
No, you're fine, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I think that guy. A lot of people. Not really.
There we go.
Barb, you ready?
Yes.
Can I get a motion to approve correspondence and reports?
Motion to approve correspondence and reports.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from January 13th, 2026 and January 28th, 2026?
Motion to approve the minutes from both meetings.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve the bill list?
Motion to approve the bill list.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Farabella?
Yes.
Mr. Keane?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion to approve the 2026 annual licenses?
Motion to approve the license.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to open the public hearing on the following ordinance? Ordinance 126, establishing the salaries and wages of municipal officials and employees of the Township of Franklin?
Motion to approve 0126.
Opening the public hearing.
Open the public
correct.
hearing.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a question on the salary ordinance. What is the, how much will the clerk be paid this year as opposed to last year?
Whatever her last year's salary was, with a 3% raise.
It'll be capped at 3% raise. It'll be the same for everybody.
Same for
3%
every-
raise. It's across the board.
It's across the
That's
board.
what you negotiated with the township employees. And
Correct.
you're sticking to it for all employees.
Both units, correct.
Great. Thank you very much, Mr.
Yep.
Mayor.
Can I get a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance 126?
Motion to close.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to adopt ordinance 126?
Motion to adopt ordinance 126.
Second?
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Fiorella?
Yes.
Mr. Keane?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion to open the first public portion for resolutions and ordinances below?
Motion for the first public portion.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Good evening. Leah Salem, 560 Bessie Drive. I had a question related to R 4226.
Yes.
This is where you're appointing Chase Farabella as acting building inspection subcode.
Yes.
What qualifications does Chase have for that?
Pat?
He has all the GCA licenses, some qualifications, he has, except for so he's taking care of the site inspections.
So he would be doing the plumbing inspections?
No,
No.
you
What
can't do the
inspections
pump.
would he be doing? And is that what, okay, so Mr. Leary will only be doing plumbing at this point?
He'll be doing site, he'll be doing design review and plumbing. Site inspections.
And I guess my curiosity is why you've chosen, and I like Chase, so this is nothing personal to Chase, but why did you choose him as opposed to hiring someone?
Because Mr. Leary's going to come back to work eventually.
Okay, I guess this is my question. Chase works other places besides Franklin Township, correct? Do you guys not know this?
No, I said, yeah.
Okay, where does he work?
I don't know.
Vineland, probably?
Works in Newfield.
Works in Newfield, Vineland?
He works full-time at Vineland. He also works at Newfield, Estelle Manor, Franklin, and Weymouth. And now you're gonna have him do building inspections.
How many
too.
towns did Herb work in? How many towns was the other fellow Herb Leary working in? Okay. They all work in a lot of towns.
No, I understand
It's
that.
standard.
But what I'm saying is, and it's not odd for building code officials to work in multiple towns, but this is one who has a full-time job in Vineland. And then these multiple other towns are in addition to that. So what I'm getting at is his current contract. How many hours a week does his current contract say that Chase works in Franklin Township?
Approximately 10,
Is that what it says?
I believe so.
No, it actually says not more than 12.
Okay.
There's no minimum.
Well, that's
Could be
10,
zero.
right? 10's not more than 12.
Well, 0 is not more than 12. 1 is not more than 12.
Right, exactly.
So we're paying, according to your salary from last year, or last meeting 2 weeks ago, or whenever it was, zoning officers getting paid $26,265 to work not more than 12 hours a week in Franklin Township. Not a super experienced zoning officer. This is not someone who's been doing this for decades and has bringing an incredible amount of value to the township. This is someone who apparently works in Vineland as an inspector, a building inspector, who we bring on as a not more than 12-hour a week zoning officer for $26,000. Then we add $8,000 to his salary for him to also pick up some code inspection here in Franklin. Now, do you know who he works for in Vineland?
No, I do not.
Would it surprise you that it's Derek Leary, the same person that he's taken over some of these inspections for?
Wouldn't surprise me.
And Derek Leary also works in Vineland full-time, right? Makes $133,000 a year working in Vineland full-time. And yet somehow also works in Pittsgrove, Newfield, Morris River Township, Commercial Township, and Franklin Township. And we're paying him, if he's the plumbing inspector, we're paying him what, $31,000 a year? I mean, why can't we hire people who actually work for Franklin Township?
You'd be
Not,
paying them $130,000 like Vineland for full-time.
no,
so
you
it's
wouldn't, because
cheaper.
we wouldn't possibly need a full-time inspector, and we know this.
You
Because
just
we-
said, why don't we hire a full-time person?
No, I said, why don't we
Would
hire a
full-time
person
and
who
pay 'em
actually
part-time?
isn't full-time employed somewhere else? So they can actually inspect
I
something
never
in
met anybody in
Franklin.
construction that didn't have at least 4 towns. It's
Right, but
standard
not
practice.
full-time. not full-time.
And we're not paying him full-time, so
Part-
we're benefiting from it.
No, we're not, because he's not here. If he works full-time in Vineland, when's he inspecting properties in Franklin? In the evening? If he takes a vacation day? I mean, it's a joke. If this is not someone patching together 4 part-time positions, this is someone who is fully and totally employed and well-paid to be fully and totally employed for Vineland, and then has 5 side jobs, of which we are 1, and I cannot imagine that it's very easy to get an inspection in a timely manner in Franklin Township when these people are basically split between everywhere down the shore all the way up to here when they can, if they feel like it. I mean, if you take what we're paying Chase for his not more than 12 hours a week, and if it were actually 12 hours a week that he was working, it's the equivalent of like 122 or 115,000 a year that we're paying for a very young, fairly inexperienced zoning officer. We can do better.
I guess she can't get an inspection from here. Oh, they didn't do it.
No, they don't get permits.
Thank you, Harry Kennedy, 1578 Fry's Mill Road. I just wanted to say thank you to the Township Committee. I thanked you once before for this, and I guess it came to fruition tonight. You actually hired a Franklin Township resident. Thank you very much. And you hired a second-generation police officer. Thank you very much. And you hired somebody that whose mom I used to coach when she was a kid, so you made me feel even older than I really am. But in any case, it was great to see an employee actually come from Franklin Township and not follow the Vineland Trail to Franklin Township. And that Vineland Trail is really getting trodden with people that owe their allegiance to a certain other Vineland employee. But c'est la vie. But tonight I'd like to talk about your opposition to Senate Bill S. 4736. Why are we opposing this bill?
We just thought it was the right thing to do. There were some other towns that did it, so we just included ourselves.
But your rationale for opposing it was that there is a 5-to-1 ratio of non-affordable to affordable housing in the builder's remedy. Is that correct?
Now, the rationale for opposing it is that it provides an allowance for religious and nonprofit organizations with eligible property, meaning property that they own or have access to bypass all zoning and planning board application processes in creating affordable housing with limits not to exceed 40 units per acre. It's excessive, and we believe, and I think you believe this, that applicants should go through the local planning board because no one knows better than the local planning boards what should be approved in accordance to the ordinance.
I saw that as the beginning of the Senate bill, Solicitor, but I also saw opposition to the ratio of 5-to-1 in terms of the builder's remedy as a rationale for supporting the bill, that this in some way bypassed local. That's not a rationale?
The rationale was that this really went further and avoided our planning board. So to allow this bill to proceed through the Senate and become law in the state of New Jersey further whittles away a municipality's ability to control its own master plan.
Well, the master plan and the agreements that the township reached in regards to the fourth round of the COA litigation promulgated, at least on the site of the Fry's Mill area, a 5-to-1 ratio of affordable to non-affordable housing as agreed to by the planning board and cited it by them as being agreeable. So that sort of bypasses local zoning and planning laws in terms of density and other things, because the law in terms of the Mount Laurel decision and the builder's remedy sort of bypasses zoning and planning to begin with. And we've already acceded to those demands by agreeing to the suits in the fourth round and allowing for up to 4,500 housing units to be built in Franklin Township. It's sort of like we've already done this, with the exception, as you said, the religious institutions and their special exemption, we've already bypassed what are the rules of Franklin Township in both zoning and planning by agreeing to the settlement in in the fourth round, and also agreeing to it in the planning board document as to the overlay on the site at Fry's Mill Road. And there's a simple equation. That's what you agreed to. That's what your previous COA solicitor and you agreed to in a settlement with the state, that you would allow them to put 750 units on that Fry's Mill Road site, 150 of them to be low-cost housing, which would partially meet your requirements. And again, I just make this simple comment. Had that site been a solar field, had that site been approved to begin with, there would be no low-cost housing going in there. There would be no redevelopment going in there. There would have been a solar field with a tax rateable with no impact whatsoever on the taxpayers. But you decided not only to fight the suit, but to take it to the Supreme Court. And again, to the appellate court. I apologize, Solicitor, only to the appellate court. But at the same time, the two deciding votes to make that happen were Mr. Doyle's employee and Mr. Doyle's best friend. And who was out there lobbying them at that time, at that particular zoning board meeting? The mayor was there talking to them. What a mistake that's going to cost Franklin Township for years to come. What a genius move.
Can I get a motion to close first public portion?
Motion to close.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion to approve resolution R 4126, granting towing license within the Township of Franklin from February 11th, 2026 through March 31st, 2027.
Motion R 4126.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Fiorella?
Yes.
Mr. Keane?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Just a quick question, does that include out of town still? Tow companies?
Within certain, response time.
No.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. R 4226, appointing Chase Farabella as acting building inspection subcode official.
Motion R 4226.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Fiorella?
Yes.
Mr. Keane?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Resolution 4326, authorizing the mayor to sign the Gloucester, Salem, Cumberland County's Municipal Joint Insurance Fund Safety Contract.
Motion R 4326.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Fiorella?
Yes.
Mr. Keane?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Resolution 4426, authorizing the refund of developer's escrow account.
Motion R 4426.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Fiorella?
Yes.
Mr. Keane?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Resolution 4526, appointing New Jersey Senate Bill S 4376.
Mr. Mayor, before we do that, I'd like to amend to also include the latest round, which is S 1836, into this motion as well.
Got a motion, can I get a second?
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Fiorella?
Yes.
Mr. Keane?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Resolution 4626, approving the extension of a contract for CME Engineering to complete certain projects which are near completion on behalf of the Township of Franklin.
Motion R 4626.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Fiorella?
Yes.
Mr. Keane?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Resolution 4726, awarding contract to Arawak Paving Company, Inc. for the professional services in connection with fiscal year 2023 Williamstown Road Resurfacing Plan 1 project in the Township of Franklin.
Motion R 4726.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Fiorella?
Yes.
Mr. Keane?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Resolution 4826, awarding contract to South State Inc. for professional services in connection with fiscal year 2024 Williamstown Road Resurfacing Phase 1 project in the Township of Franklin.
Motion R 4826.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Fiorella?
Yes.
Mr. Keane?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Resolution 4926, authorizing the closed executive meeting for the Township Committee of the Township of Franklin.
Motion R 4926.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Fiorella?
Yes.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor approved.
Yes. Can I get a motion to introduce the following? Public hearing will be on March 10th, 2026. Ordinance 0226, an ordinance of the Township of Franklin amending Chapter 290, Police Services, use of the Code Book of the Township of Franklin.
Motion 0226.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And again, that ordinance will be on March 10th, 2026. Can I get a motion for the second public portion for comments?
Motion for the second public portion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I'm sorry, getting a salary question, that's right. Let's go back to the salaries, because I know you guys have heard plenty of my thoughts related to co-ed. You mentioned a 3% increase across the board, and I noticed on this resolution in part 2826 that we referred to before, it shows the municipal clerk salary of $121,963.80. Do you think that's reasonable?
Do I think it's reasonable?
Any of you?
I do.
Which one of you think it's reasonable?
For her longevity and where she started, I absolutely do. I'm not sure I'm even allowed to talk about this, am I?
I'm just asking if you
I
think the
wouldn't answer
salary is
questions, it's
reasonable.
public comment.
All right.
Okay, and do you believe that still to be 3% more than Barb made last year?
Now I gotta think. Who's that? I don't.
John, you're the numbers guy. If you divide 121,000 by 1.03, was Barb making 118,000 last year?
I've been advised not to answer questions.
You can't say what somebody's made, even though it's public knowledge. I'm not asking you if you're happy with her performance, I'm just asking you if what you said earlier was correct or not.
I'm taking my solicitor's advice.
Yeah, that's good advice, because when you approve things and you don't know what you're approving, which I'm beginning to see is 100% of the time up there, it is a good idea not to say much, and I'll give you that. It's actually embarrassing. You think she was making 118 salary last year. According to online records, it was 112, so it's more like a 10% raise. But then again, who actually calculates this? Who actually looks at the numbers before we vote yes to everything? Who prepares the agenda? Who gives you the numbers that you turn around and never ask a question about? And just vote 5 yeses, no matter what they are. Yes, 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 yes. We think it's a great idea to give someone with no time available at all additional responsibilities in the township to inconvenience anyone who needs an inspection. Yes, yes, yes. Barb should make, because she's, I guess, been here for a while, $121,000 as clerk. Nobody's even 100% sure what the responsibilities are, but that's okay. I look at Newfield, for example. Their clerk makes $87,000. She's been there forever, too. Now, you'd probably say, well, Newfield's smaller. So I also looked at some other Gloucester County townships that are bigger. Deptford, their clerk made $95,000 last year. Gloucester, their clerk made $99,800 last year. Monroe, their clerk made $97,000. Washington Township, which has 50,000 residents, more than 3 times the size of Franklin, their clerk made $93,000. But our clerk is making $122,000. The only one that even came close was actually Mantua, which also has 16,000 residents, and their clerk makes $140,000 per year. You know why? Because she's also the administrator. So for both clerk and administrator, an equally sized township pays approximately $140,000 a year. We're paying $260,000. Because there's 5 people who vote yes to whatever's put in front of them, and it's put in front of them by Mr. Finley and Barb, and nobody asks a question. Nobody says, does this make sense? Why are we paying, our clerk as much almost as the county clerk gets? Nobody cares, because it's not your money. It's just the township taxpayers. Pay double what everywhere else does. Get nothing in return. It doesn't matter. It's not on your back. I get it. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Samir Ketan. first time speaking here. It's really a lot for me to be here. I'm a little flustered, so you'll bear with me, but I have all the information here that I'm going to hand out to you after. I'm here in regards to a plot that I purchased, Lot 71, District 5602. It's a 3-acre plot at the end of Morris Ave. It's zoned RA, and the end of Morris Ave is a cul-de-sac. My plot is on the extended paper road that goes well beyond my property, and I have about 200 plus feet of frontage. And the first thing I did, what I verified over and over with Chase Farabella before I bought the parcel was access. Was that because it's a paper road, a legal road, although it's not built the portion that I'm on, that I have access to the property and that I'm able to travel across it. And from June 2023 to August 2024, I was able to access the plot without issue. I confirmed with Atlantic City Electric that I could cross the easement, never had an issue. In 2024, I had a couple of issues where there's some things were called out. I had an RV out there for a few days and a couple other things. And after that point, barricades were put up at the end of Morris Ave illegally, blocking that paper road, blocking my access. Now, those code violations or those disputes were long since handled, the things that came up. A couple of things that I disputed about tree clearance and the RV situation that I had out there for a few days, not a problem. I took it away and I was in full compliance. After that point, for the last now year and a half, I've had extremely hard time trying to get those illegal barricades removed.
Who put the barricades there?
What's that?
Who put the barricades there?
I believe Mr. Finley. And so I'm not here to malign Mr. Finley, what I'm about to say. But 100% of my communication has been with Mr. Finley. Nothing from Chase, nothing from Township Council, and I have all the history here. We've got a tremendous amount of back and forth about where the access was from originally, why Mr. Finley felt like, as he used the term landlocked, when it's not landlocked. I have legal access, but my point is throughout all of this process, and I also, by the way, had my lawyer, I hired a lawyer to send a letter to Mr. Finley to say, you can't do this, remove the barricade, to which Mr. Finley decided it was appropriate to just dump a bunch of photos and emails from the past year, which had nothing to do with that situation. I was in full compliance, and I have been. And then at the end of that, Mr. Finley decided that he thought it was appropriate to talk to my lawyer directly without me. He said, I'm going to talk to your lawyer, and at that point, I had no reason to trust anything that he's saying. Again, I have nothing personally against the man, but at that point, after not hearing anything from anyone else, Mayor Bruno was copied on some of that correspondence. I'm here saying this to you because based on what his actions have been, including another instance of what I feel is major ethical misconduct of claiming that I was alleging racism throughout this, which I never did, categorically. And he also put that in writing and it's in here. Other people have said that. I never said that. My point is, this entire time I've had one person that I'm able to communicate with, Mr. Finley, where I feel like there's been a conscious bad faith effort, misdirection, delays, and I'm here to just give you this information because I've documented meticulously everything that has gone on. There's 20 pages worth of correspondence and backup information here. Again, I'm not here to malign Mr. Finley or anybody else, but from my perspective, when my lawyer sends a letter and I get a response from Mr. Finley, we both do, on that Township Council, and there's just stalling, what is my recourse? I have no recourse at that point. And so I need you to hear this from me because I don't intend to give this up. I know, and again, I know this is hearsay, but I've heard from plenty of people in this town that what happens is that people get beaten down, they have to pay legal fees, lawyer fees, and they just get so frustrated they give up. I've been in full compliance, and all I ask is that I use my land to grow food and hang out and sit in the woods, and that's it. So what I'm asking for is that those illegal barriers be removed immediately, and that moving forward, there actually be formal processes and policies for how y'all deal with things. And it's not just one person that is answering everything, often delaying for weeks on end, even months on end, where there's no transparency and no clarity of process, particularly when legal gets involved. I don't understand how things are allowed to function that way. And that's been a major, major source of frustration. And I would like that to be true for if I apply for a variance, for example, to build, even though it's not buildable, I understand it can't be built on unless I extend the road, that there also be clarity of process. The last thing is, I want to thank Chase Farabella, that although he was not involved at the end of this or core to this, he's the only person that has actually been upfront with me and spoken with me. And I want to give him a shout out, just because he's been someone that's actually worked with me throughout this process.
Thank you.
We'll take a picture.
Good evening, I'm Doreen Sunderland, 3200 Euclid Street in Malibu Village. I don't know if any of you guys watched the meeting last week, but I was awarded the variance, and I'll be able to get a permit next month after the memorialization, whatever this all means. I attempted to ask my question, which was, why did I have to do the variance when I believe that there is a grandfather code, which I handed out to you guys previously. And I was told by this committee and by Mr. Farabella that I have to ask that question at zoning. So I attempted to do that. What I got from zoning is, what do you care? You've got what you want. It's not the answer I'm looking for. I don't want anybody else who is a regular homeowner, wants to add on a bedroom or a laundry room or whatever, to have to go through a variance process for an undersized lot when there is already a grandfather code in place for it. So I know Mr. Farabella is a newer zoning officer, and that's fine. We've been through that particular code several times, and I believe I've come up with an argument as to why that does apply to my property and to many others, which would certainly reduce the burden on the zoning board by not having, but of course that does reduce the amount of income that comes to the zoning board. But the zoning board basically said, too bad, so sad, you have to get you have to do an application for an interpretation of that code from Township Committee, which I've been here 4 or 5 times now. Nobody's ever said anything about that. You need an interpretation of the code. Now, I thought zoning did interpretation, at least that's what they told me until I asked a question. So now they're saying that it's your guys' job to interpret that code, which I would like to have a discussion on, because I believe I have found the part where Mr. Farabella has said, this is the phrase that I'm having a problem with. And I went through and I did a lot of history and title searches and came up with I believe a cogent argument as to why that is not a barrier. But I'm supposed to ask for this interpretation of code 25391, just in case Mr. Farabella is incorrect. He did confer with Mr. Reilly, the solicitor for the zoning board, who did not disagree with him and said, okay, it doesn't apply. So then my question is, well, does that mean it doesn't apply for any property? If it doesn't apply for mine, does this mean it doesn't apply for any? No answer to that question. I have to come to the board to find out. Now, this code was written back and adopted back in 1979. I have a very, very hard time coming to grips with, in 1979, someone wrote a code that doesn't work. Okay, that doesn't make much sense to me. Okay, so I would be happy to discuss this with whomever is supposed to be in charge of helping me with this. I wish someone could have come to me back in October, but apparently that's not an issue either. Okay, yes, I have my permission. I can start building next month sometime, but it's not fair for a code to exist that doesn't work when it used to work. I have neighbors on my street in the last 5 to 6 years, one in 2020 and one in 21, who were both allowed to add on to their homes. They did not have to go through the variance process. Okay? They don't know what I'm talking about when I've got to come to their house and say, listen, can you sign this form saying that I dropped off proof that I got to come to variance? And they're like, well, what's going on? Okay? Because they didn't have to go through that when they added on, and I have a larger lot. I had the biggest one on the block. Okay? So can any of you answer that? Because I did request from Ms. Mulford, whatever this application, so I could get on the docket for today, to get an interpretation or to introduce the interpretation, or whatever I need to do.
The Township Committee doesn't give interpretations.
Kind of what I thought. So can we stop the runaround? Can someone help me, please?
You
I
got
wanna
your
make this better for
approval,
other
you went
people.
through the proper process. You don't
I
like the
did-
the
no, no,
fact
no.
that you had to do that.
I
We
do-
don't,
I
I
don't
don't
like-
agree with you, so I don't have anything to help you with, other than
Okay.
you got your approval and you finally went through the process, you're still not happy.
But did I,
That-
no,
That's the
I'm,
process that everybody goes through.
but why should they? Why should people who have undersized lots, when there is a grandfather clause that is specifically targeted to undersized lots, why does that why does that ordinance no longer apply? Because, I had to go through it, we delayed everything 6 months, I now have to get all new pricing. Okay, so getting the runaround between the zoning boards and you guys, and I don't understand, I don't understand what's appropriate.
I think it's something that I'm going to look into, to see exactly who it falls on and
I would
and things of
appreciate
that
that,
matter.
because nobody seems to know.
Okay.
Last month I was here, you guys were like, yep, go see zoning. I go see zoning, he says, I gotta check with Mr. Borelli, gotta check with Borelli. I can't talk to Borelli until I come before the zoning board, so now I gotta put out $1,000, right? Come before the zoning board, and Mr. Borelli says, I don't know what you're talking about. Not gonna answer your question. They were very agitated when I tried to hand them the, code. Oh, we don't do that. So I'm frustrated because this shouldn't be happening. You've got something that should work. Let's make it work. Okay, now I did give the argument to Mr. Farabella. He seems to think that maybe that is the right argument. So let's make sure we fix this. And if you guys don't do interpretation, please tell me who does. If it's not zoning, if Mr. Farabella is incorrect, who's next?
It's zoning.
Thank you. How am I gonna do this?
Marshall, 67 New Road. You mentioned last meeting there that the COA attorney would be here this evening. And
Did I say would be here, or I said possibly be here?
Well,
What did I say?
I thought you had said you would have him here.
Okay, well, that's not what I said.
Well, obviously, he's not, I'm assuming.
No.
So then I'll pose my question to you, and you can pass it on.
Okay.
Well, are we going to have an opportunity as residents to speak with him at any point in time? Are we going to have a COA meeting? Are you going to have something for the residents to come together? There's a lot of concerns out there.
I believe, that's the plan.
Okay.
He's gonna appear at a meeting, and then you can ask him questions.
Okay. All right. Well, if that doesn't happen, then I figure I'll pose this one to you now. We had a Greenway settlement back in 2007 under Mr. Pesch's term as mayor that gave us a housing obligation of about 436 units for low income. Since then, there's been other rounds that came around and other things that happened. Does that still stay in effect, or is there a statute of limitations on it? I'm just curious, which one trumps which one? Because they're two different rulings.
I will ask the COA attorney that question. I think they roll into each other, but I will ask.
So that would be, so we'd have our 870 plus the 436, or that would for their be absorbed into the...
That's above our number, yes. We'll try and get all that information. Don't forget the COA attorney was just appointed,
I understand that.
jumping into existing litigation and getting grounded in what we are facing here in Franklin Township. So we have deadlines that are still applicable under state law, so things will have to happen, and we hope to have them at the next meeting, and if not, the meeting right before March 15th, which is the next state date.
Just curious, so we'll have some kind of answer at that point or something along those lines?
Yeah, we're all looking for answers. We all want to know what we have to do and what we cannot have to do.
Right, I
Exactly.
understand that. All right, I just want to make sure. And as you saw from a couple of residents, there's some issues going on that, obviously, your vested interest would be great for them, as you can see, they've got some concerns. And there's a lot of other residents that have to say this. It'd be nice to have some feedback from them on occasion when they reach out to you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Good evening, Nancy Kennedy, 711 St. George Street. So first I have a question for the solicitor. The executive session, what is the topic?
Litigation.
Litigation, okay. So the other thing that I wanted to share, because it's public portion, and of course I'm entitled as a matter of law to share anything that concerns the township, I wanted to share kind of a fun meeting that I attended lately. It was a Republican Club meeting, and actually a lot of the committee were there. And a lot of residents were there because there is apparently in Franklin a very growing concern about the COA issue. about the looming reality that appears very clear that we're about to have some major changes in Franklin. And one of the takeaways of that meeting that I attended was that there are 2 Township Committee seats that will be open at the conclusion of this year, and there will be, as there usually is, an election in November, ostensibly with Republican and Democrat candidates vying for the seats. And at the Republican Club meeting, it was discussed that people in Franklin might want to apply to be considered to run for Township Committee as Republicans. And it's kind of an exciting time because there were a lot of people there. From what I understand, there are a lot of people who have expressed interest. And in my opinion, the reason that they have expressed interest is because they see what is happening. And what is happening is that there are a lot of very difficult topics that are facing our township. There's the COA issue. There's tax increases. There's the possibility of a rail line coming. There are issues about water and sewer. There is a tremendous lack of respect that is shown routinely to the residents of this town by the administration. And I don't mean all of you sitting up there. When this very nice lady got up and spoke, and she said, she asked the zoning board a question, and they basically said, or someone said, what do you care? You got what you want. The growing feeling in Franklin Township is, it isn't enough if some of us can slip through and get what we want. Because now what we want is to have the town more like it used to be, and have people treated with respect, and have everybody have equal access to the same processes. The topics that come before Township Committee aren't easy. In fact, one Township Committee member actually said to me, you know, I think you have to be a lawyer to understand this stuff. And that may be true. And it might even have to be a certain type of lawyer. So what kind of was discussed at the Republican Club meeting was, it's very, very important for whoever we elect in November to put the right people around you. The people who are going to give you honest answers to questions. The people who are going to give you answers to questions you might not like to hear, or shockingly, that might not be in their best interest. If you're just looking to bring a bunch of friends aboard from your town and hire them, if you're looking to bring some professionals down, maybe you're not the one who should be advising our Township Committee as we head into this season, because this season looks like it's gonna be rough. And especially related to the COA, especially related to the building projects, especially related to the growing, thank God, number of voices that are saying, hey, why the heck is the township administrator the only one writing back to me? Why is he answering legal questions? Where are the people we elected? And as we are poised to elect 2 new people, I ask, if this is aired before February 15th, any registered Republican who wants to run, who is committed to putting Franklin first and residents first, and putting professionals in place who are less concerned about their own pockets and more concerned about the benefit of the town, dear God, submit your resumes, please, to the Franklin Township Executive Committee. Because I think some of you would work very, very well with people who are committed to doing the right thing, know enough to ask the questions that they don't know the answers to, and are smart enough to put people in place who understand what Franklin Township is really all about. So, thank everyone for your time.
Thank you.
Can I get a, did we already call him? Oh.
As many of you probably know, and Jake, I know you volunteered to do this at the high school. This month is Black History Month, and I'm reminded of a quote from Martin Luther King. The measure of a man isn't where he stands in times of comfort and convenience, but rather where he stands in times of challenge and controversy. And I think about that quote a lot because it obviously transcends African Americanism. It's an American trait. You have to stand up and be heard. And I was asked that question, why I like certain township committeemen and why I don't like other people. I think it's absolutely essential at some point, when you're serving in a public office, you stand up and you're heard. You make your voice heard. You do what's right. You do what's right for your kid, for the next generation, for the people that live in the township. You do what's right because you damn well know what's right. And this Township Committee collectively has made a lot of mistakes. And God, I'm not going to throw the first stone because I made lots of mistakes too. But some of those mistakes are compounded. They're compounded over and over and over and over and over. And I remember a person that is not exactly my best friend. It's a person that I was involved in a lawsuit with, a person that probably despises me more than most of you up there. I remember when she came to this Township Committee as you hired Mr. Finley, and she said to you, Mr. Mayor, I hope you know what you're doing. I hope you know what you're doing. Because she had done her background check in the city of Vinewood. I hope you know what you're doing. All the developers that are coming, as you look at those 3 developers in that lawsuit, those of you on the Township Committee that have ever bothered to read it, do you know who they are? Who Seth Gersberg is? Who John Konnor is? Who Chris Wall is? They're all tied together in all these developments around the state. If it can't be an Amazon warehouse, it can be a housing development, because developers make money on developments. They make money on buildings. They make more on some and less on some, but they make money. And the interesting thing is this. You can have a COA attorney that works for the township, or you can have a COA attorney that works for the developers, or you can have a COA attorney that tries to solve a reasonable balance and deal with the reality of the law from the 1975 decision that was the Mount Laurel decision. But you can't take money from a developer by the name of Chris Wall from the beginning of the Rhone debacle and find out that that same Mr. Wall is Mr. Gersberg's partner in virtually every development in the state. You can't have meetings to develop what your COA plan is while you're taking money from some of the developers and you're taking a $123,000 check and calling it taxes from a person that wants to be a developer in the township of Franklin. You can't do that. It's like having the fox in the hen house, guys. Your job is to protect the residents of Franklin Township. Your job isn't to make Chris Wall, Seth Gersberg, and John Konnor a lot of money. Your job is to protect the residents of Franklin Township. And you need a new COA attorney. Gee whiz, you didn't fire your COA attorney. Your COA attorney quit. He quit. He left you. After the settlement was, he left. And now you need a new COA attorney. Gee whiz. Holy cow. I wonder why he left. I wonder why he resigned. I wonder why he decided to get out of here. Do you think it might be what's facing us and what that agreement was that you agreed to? Do you think that might be the problem? Do you think maybe the stupid decisions involving the solar field at Freeze Mill Road and protecting somebody's interests and not the township's might be at the heart of it? You think there were a lot of stupid decisions made? You weren't here to make those decisions, but you're elected. You can stand up and say no. You can ask the questions. Jake said she got a 3% raise. Jake said it. I think he honestly believed it. I swear to God, I don't think Jake would lie to me. He thought she got a 3% raise. He didn't realize she got a 10% raise. None of you did. That's your job to know. Who didn't tell you? The clerk or the administrator? Come on, guys. Let's do our job. Let's make all of us proud. Let's have a township committee that we can say, hey, I never want to go to another meeting again because you're doing a great job. Hope that happens soon. Thank you.
Good time. Good time. Can I get a motion to close?
Motion to close.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I have to, there's an oversight here. I made a mistake, Harry. Resolution 4526. Can I just go right into that, Jackie?
Yeah, the amendment, I think, has been adopted, so now you've got to adopt the resolution as amended. Right, Mark made
Mark made
motion to
a
amend.
motion on Resolution 4526. And that what was that amendment again?
Then we added S 1836, which is the current round.
We want to vote on that amendment, right?
Yes.
So
and
can I get a
then-
motion
and then-
on Mark's amendment?
We did that, we have to vote to adopt it now.
We're
with
going
the
to vote to
amendment.
adopt
Yeah, I
it?
think the vote that you already took covered the amendment,
Okay.
amendment, that passed. So now you have to vote on the resolution as amended to include Senate Bill 1836.
All right, then I need a motion for R 4526 as amended.
Motion 4526 as amended.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Oh, we need
need a roll call.
Barb, I'm sorry.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Fiorella?
Yes.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Committee reports. Mike?
I have nothing right now.
Mark?
The historical committee plans on doing something for the 250th. They're looking to honor a possible, I believe it's a Revolutionary War soldier that's never been identified. So they're looking to coordinate with us on that in a local cemetery. So for the 250th anniversary, we don't have the timeline or anything yet. We're just in the beginning stages. Also, like to thank Public Works for clearing the snow. Didn't hear many complaints. It's a really good job from what I've seen, so thanks guys, appreciate it. I know.
You're going to be cleaned up till April.
Communication meets tomorrow, and our current vendor for our website has assigned us a new rep that we've been working with, and planning board meets next Tuesday.
Thank you. Tim?
Just want to thank Public Works and the police. I was out. I don't sleep much when it snows. I was driving around quite a bit, plowing old ladies' driveways for free, by the way. Our roads were as good as any town with apples to apples. Obviously, the main roads are always the best because they get the most traffic. But with the ice we had, salt didn't work unless you had a lot of traffic and sun. So Kelsey Drive looked great, but when we got on the back roads, these guys could have salted it 100 times when it mattered. I saw 2 accidents. One was a flipped over vehicle. The Corolla was another one. Was on Main Road, a tractor trailer stuck. I happened to be there at the exact time it happened, and the police were there in less than a minute. I couldn't get my phone out and dial before I got there. So, a lot of towns you'll see cops 3-4 deep talking at the Wawa. You don't see that in Franklin. You see cops. I see cops on Piney Hollow Road scattered all around. These guys really do a great job. So, you get 100 happy people and you get 1 complaint. And just wanted to point out, with this weather, they did a great job. Also, picking up trash. It's not easy to pick up trash in an ice storm. So, I just think they did a good job.
Thanks. Matt, I'm sorry. Do you have anything you want to say? Brian?
We did.
We did.
It's nice, too.
We got a new senior bus.
Look at mine.
I just, reiterate what these guys said. I thought the guys at Public Works worked a lot of hours, long hours, and didn't hear very many complaints. So that was a good thing. How many mailboxes did we destroy? Still counting, huh? You got your socks off, counting toes, huh? Yeah, that was bad.
The plow was useless after the ice.
They did. Jeez. Yeah. With that being said, we're not taking any action, correct?
We're not going to take any action, it's just information.
Just information? So, if you want to hang around, you can hang around. How long do you think it'll take?
20 minutes, 30
20
minutes?
minutes? All right, so can I get a motion to go into closed session?
Motion to go into closed session.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for coming out.
Please too.
I'm a non-practicing bylaw.
Need a motion to come out of closed session?
Motion to come out.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion to go into public session.
Motion to go to public.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Stop hitting your hand.